Hello, everybody. Welcome to Clyde Samvada, brought to you by the Hindu Temple of Scotland. I am Savita, and I will be interviewing our guest for today. We have Ramesh ji, who is a music enthusiast, and he is also a keen and ardent admirer of Muthuswami Dikshitar. So, in the next 15-20 minutes, we'll try and get an insight into Dikshitar's life and his compositions. So, welcome, Ramesh ji.
Namaste Savitaji. I'm glad to be here to share a few anecdotes about the legendary musician, Vainika Gayaka Shri Muthuswami Dikshitar. Extremely happy to be here.
Our pleasure. So, to start with, could you give us a life sketch about Dikshitar, please?
Shri Muthuswami Dikshitar, he was the first child of his parents, but his parents did not have a child for a long time after the marriage. They went and did a vrata for a mandalam at Shri Vaitishwaran Kovil, which is near Chidambaram. Vaitishwaran Kovil, the presiding deity of Vaitishwaran Kovil is Vaidyanatha Swami. Balamba is the Devi's name, and there is also Sri Subramanya, who is called Muthukumara Swami in that temple. Vaitishwaran Kovil is also the temple of Angaraka, Chova.
Okay.
Sri Dikshitar was born after his parents' vrata for a mandalam at this Vaitishwaran Kovil. Therefore, they named him after Sri Muthukumara Swami as Muthuswami.
Okay.
He was picked up by his guru. The guru came in search of him. He did not go in search of his guru. His guru, Sri Chidambaranatha Yogi, he took him to Kashi. So Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar was in Kashi for a few years with his guru. In Kashi, once while he was bathing in the Ganges, his guru told him, you dip into the water with your hands like this. And up he came, he got a veena on his hand.
Okay.
It's a small veena, it was given by Goddess Saraswati. That veena is still there. It is being preserved by one of his descendants.
Okay. Do you know where that would be?
It's there in Coimbatore.
Okay. We can go and see, or?
I have seen, I have performed a few Dikshitar kritis in front of that veena, in the presence of that veena. The speciality of that veena is unique. Normally, all veenas, there is a yadi at the end of it. The yadi will face downwards. On this veena, the yadi is facing upwards. It's a small veena, it is not a normal sized veena, it's a smaller version. Then his guru tells him to go to Tirupati, which is a Subramanya Swami Kshetram. It's just outside Chennai. It is one of the 6 Arupadai Veedigal of Subramanya Swami. He comes to Tirupati. While he was praying, an old man came to him. He told him, open your mouth. He put a sugar candy into Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar's mouth. The old man went back into the sanctum sanctorum and disappeared. That was Lord Subramanya. The moment he had this candy, he burst out with his first kriti. Srinatadi Gurubhuho Jayati Jayati. That was his first kriti. And then he goes to various temples. He composes music in temples. And finally, he goes to Ettayapuram. Ettayapuram is near Tuticorin. Okay. And he breathes his last at Ettayapuram. This is a very brief sketch, life sketch of Shri Dikshitar.
In this short interview, there's only a limited thing we can discuss. So why do you like Muthuswami Dikshitar?
Primarily, I would say it is genetic. My mother used to be an admirer of Sri Dikshitar's kritis, and she got her taste from her mother. Oh, wow. So that apart, I somehow got attracted to the uniqueness of Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar's compositions.
Okay, so maybe you can kind of elaborate on that a little bit. What is the uniqueness of his compositions?
His compositions are a bit different from the other two of the trinities, Sri Tyagaraja and Sri Shyamashastri. All the 3 of them were contemporaries. Shyamashastri was the eldest. Muthuswami Dikshitar was the youngest.
They were all born in the same village, isn't it?
They belong to Tiruvallur. There is a gap of just 13 years between Sri Shyamashastri and Sri Dikshitar. In between, Tyagaraja was born in between. Some people would say, Sri Tyagaraja's kritis is like a river. everybody can have a dip into it. It's a very melodious, soft water flow. But Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar's kritis are there. They can be compared to the ocean. Somebody else told me, so that is what I'm. You will initially hesitate to get into the ocean, but you get into the ocean, you will find pearls at the bed of the ocean. If you find one pearl, then you will start exploring it. So there are so many pearls of Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar. With regard to Sri Shama Shastri, not many kritis are available with us. Only around 80 kritis are there. Tyagaraja Swami's was mostly devoted to Rama. Kritis were devoted to Rama. See, Shama Shastri's kritis are out and out devoted to Goddess Kamakshi. But Muthuswami Dikshitar has composed kritis on all deities. He is an Advaita. He had probably understood the concept of Advaita and had become a realized soul even before he composed this first kriti. So he didn't have any difference between
any of the deities.
When we say, how do we know that he was an Advaita and realized soul? Just three, four kritis. First kriti, Srinatha Guru Jayati. He says, Sri Chidananda Natoham. So he declares himself, I am Chidananda. In another Navavarna kriti on Kamalamba in Shankarabharanam, he says, Shri Kamala Ambikaya Katakshitoham Sachidananda Paripurna Brahma Asmi. He says, I am already blessed by Goddess Kamalamba. I am Sachidananda Paripurna Brahma. He had composed another kriti on Goddess Lakshmi. Hiranmayim Lakshmim Sada Bhajami Hina Manavashrayam Yajami. I don't want to depend on human beings. I am not dependent on him. I am an independent soul. He reflects that meaning there. He had composed the kriti in Shabarimala. Harihara Putram Shastra. Harihara Putram Shastaram Sada Bhajeham Maya Karyam Tyejeham. Maya Karyam Tyejeham. This whole world is Maya to him. So that can be only, those words can come only from a realized soul. He touched upon the first kriti, Srinatha Guru. What are the features of that kriti? The first kriti itself, normally if somebody starts composing a kriti, he will write a small one and slowly develop. But this, he started with a bang, with a background purpose. Srinatha Guru Guha Jayati Jayati. What is so special about it? It is in Maya Madhavagula, the first raga which any music learner will pick. And look at the Arohanam and Avarohanam. Sarigama Padanisa Nidapamagari. Arohanam and Avarohanam. Exactly. In the Charanam, in the Pallavi itself. And the Pallavi itself has got all three speeds in it. Srinatha Di first speed. Guru Guho second speed. Jayati Jayati third speed. And invariably in most of his kritis, you will find his Madhyama Kala. Again with the Srinatha Di, if you look at the Swara notation of the Charanam, it is in palindrome style.
So for the benefit of our viewers, could you just explain what is that? What style is that?
Palindrome is if you go from the left to the right or from the right to the left, it will look the same. So the notation of the charanam, all the lines of the charanam are in palindromes. Amazing first kriti.
I know.
We have talked only about the first kriti. Right? And the structure of Dikshitar kritis, normally any song will have a pallavi, anupallavi and charan. Dikshitar kritis, not every kriti will fall into that structure.
Okay.
Some will have samashti charanams.
Okay. Again, would you be able to?
Samashti charanam is, samashti is combined. That is anupallavi and charanam are combined.
Yeah.
And he has composed 4-line kritis based on Muthuswami in Shankarabaranam. The Western music. He has adopted Western music. The same Muthuswaras have been, he has composed so many kritis in Muthuswara. And when we talk, normally if you take a Tyagaraja kriti, you will have 2 lines of pallavi, 2 lines of anupallavi, 4 lines of charan. So it will be structured that way. So if you add pallavi and anupallavi, you will get the charan. The length will be like that. And invariably in Tyagaraja kritis, the notation of the anupallavi will be the same, will be taken again in the charanam in the 3rd and 4th lines. Okay. There will be practically no difference between in the notation between the 3rd and 4th lines of the charanam and the anupallavi.
Only the sahityam will be different.
Yeah. But in Dikshitar kritis, no. Even if you have anupallavi and charanam, you will not find the notation of the anupallavi in charanam.
There's no repetition in the charanam. Okay. Understood.
Then he has composed what are called group kritis. The famous one is the Navavarna kritis on Sri Kamalamba. In the Navavarna kritis also, okay, you will find first 5 kritis, okay, are Ananda Bhairavi, the Dhyana kritis in Todi, Ananda Bhairavi first kriti, Kalyani, Shankarabaranam, Kabodi and Bhairavi. These are all famous, heavy ragas. If you look at the last 4 kritis, you have Punnagavaradi, Sahana, Ghanta, and Ahiri. These are all not heavy ragas, not commonly used. But he has composed such heavy kritis in all these not so heavy ragas, like you can say light ragas also. And whenever he has composed a lengthy kriti in any raga, you can take that kriti as the grammar for that raga. Simple as that.
Okay. Wow.
He used all sorts of prayogas in the kriti, so that if you have to learn a particular raga, you take just one kriti of his, keep on repeating them, learning them.
I think that's one point we can highlight in this discussion, because it's not a discussion, so actually I'm learning as well.
Take this. Take Mayamalagola, the Srinatha Guru. This Shabarimala kriti, Harihara Putram is amazing Vasanta. It's the grammar for Vasanta.
I'm definitely going to learn ragas through your advice from now on.
This Sri Kamalambikaya Katakshitoham, beautiful Shankarabaranam. He starts very silently, then goes into a crescendo. His compositions don't allow much scope for sangatis.
Okay, why is that?
The way he has composed them, they will normally automatically sit with the raga, with the tara.
Okay. So you don't have to extend it to fit
You can't.
in the...
You can't.
Understood. Yeah.
If you extend it, you lose the tara.
Yes, understood.
Tyagaraja kritis will give a lot of scope for sangatis. There are a few kritis where you can perform with sangatis, but not many will allow you to. The Sri Kamalambikaya Katakshitoham Shankarabaranam, you have very little scope for deploying sangati.
So do you think that is a good thing or a bad thing? Like, you have to stick to that structure of the composition, whereas when you have a scope for sangatis, can you do your own sangatis, or you're still sticking to the composition?
Sangatis may be liked by performers on stage.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Somebody like putting their own sangatis because they understand the raga so well.
But actually, the compositions which are Dikshitar's composition, as you start learning, you will find them easier to learn, in fact, because you can't deviate from that.
Yeah.
And one more aspect of how the Swara Prayogams sync with the Tala is that he uses Karvai.
Again, if you can explain what Karvai is for the viewers.
Karvai is something where you sit on one Swara and you just travel around that Swara only. You sit on only that Swara. You don't go out of that. When we were talking Guru Kritis, he has also composed Panchabhuta Kshetra Kritis. On 5 Panchabhuta Kshetras of Lord Shiva. Chidambaram, Tiruvannamalai, Tiruvanaikovil, Kanchipuram and Sri Kalahasti. There is another group called Navagraha Kritis. There is another group called Abhayamba Vibhakti Kritis. Abhayamba is the presiding goddess in Mayuram, or today what is called Mailaduthurai. It is after Kumbakonam, if you go. He has also composed Sri Nilotpalamba Gaulanta Raga Kritis. Those Kritis are composed in only those ragas which end with Gaula. Sri Dikshitar's compositions are temple-centric. He visits temples and composes Kritis. Before continuing on the temples, one more feature of Sri Muthuswami Dikshitar is normally any composer will his favorite raga will be Aditala. For Dikshitar it is not. His favorite raga is Khanda Jati Ekatala.
Okay, so how is that?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3,
okay.
5. Harihara Putram Shastaram is in that.
Right.
And this when we say Navavarna Kritis or Navagraha Kritis, each one is composed in a different tala. When he goes to temples and composes songs, he will bring the history and geography of that temple into that song. There is a kriti called Shalivatishwaram, which is on the Tirunelveli Nellayappa Kshetra.
Who is the deity there?
Shiva. In that is in Devagandhari. It says Vali Pujitam Grishma Mahotsav. This deity, this Shiva was worshipped by Vali, Sugriva's brother in Ramayana. Grishma Mahotsav, the annual car festival of this Nellayappa temple, happens to be in June, July. Grishma Ritu.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. So he brings that here. There is one kriti on goddess Renuka Devi. It's a temple near Tiruvallur. I believe that is a deity worshipped by transgenders. In that kriti, he says Parashurama Janani, because that Renuka Devi is the mother of Parashurama. In Tirunelveli, as I said, he had composed a song on Nellayappa. The goddess is Kantimati. There is a kriti on Shri Kantimati, Shankarayoti, which is in, we understand it as Hemavati. According to Dikshitar, he had named it as Deshi Simharavam. We call it Hemavati. Hemavati is the Pratimadhyama raga of Karaharapriya.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Sampurna raga. That is the grammar for Hemavati. If you sing that song, that is the grammar for it. There he says, Shuddha Tamraparni Tatasthita. The river Tamraparni flows through Tirunelveli. Yeah. And he says, he describes it that the temple is on the banks of the river. Yeah. Shuddha Tamraparni Tatasthita. He uses an adjective for Tamraparni also. Yeah. Right? And there is a kriti on Lord Ganesha of Madurai, Ekadantam Pajayam in Bilahari. Yeah. There also he says, Vegavati Tata Viharam Haram. Vegavati, that Vaigari river flows, so Vegavati Tata Viharam. To top it all, there is a kriti Mukhari called Pahimam Ratnachala Nayaka. This place is somewhere near Tiruchirappalli. The temple is on a hill. There is a custom in that temple. Every day, water is brought from the Kaveri river, which is a little distance away. and taken up the hill. And that water is used to perform abhishekam for the god. And that, the right to bring water rests with one family.
Even now?
Even now it is happening.
Okay.
And he has mentioned that in the last line of that kriti.
Remember, this is 17th, 18th century, isn't it?
18th century. Right? So that amount of detail he brings into his kritis. Dikshitar's mudra is Guru Guha, because Guha is his guru. See, here Dikshitar will not only bring his mudra, he will bring the raga mudra also in his kritis.
Okay, so what is raga mudra?
The name of the raga you will find in
the raga mudra as well. Okay.
Name of the raga you will find in the kriti, most of the kritis.
Okay.
There will be some exceptions. In some kritis it will be suggestive. Okay. It will not be explicit. You will have, for example, in Kalyani in Navavarna, Nitya Kalyani Katyayani. Here it is straight away, it is visible. We know that. Gauri Hindola Duty. And Kaumari Gauri Velavadi. Gauri Manohari, he calls Gauri Velavadi. Okay. These are pretty easily identifiable. But there are, in some kritis, the raga mudra will be hidden. There is a kriti on Lord Subramanya in the raga Devakriya. Here, in this composition, Bhogiraja Vinutapada Bhudeva Kriyamoda. Bhudeva, that is one word. Next one is Kriyamoda. Bhudeva Kriyamoda. Deva Kriya is Deva is comes from the previous word. Kriya comes from the next word. There is a kriti in Abhogi on Lord Vishnu on Sri Lakshmi Varaham Bhajaram. The presiding deity is Lakshmi Varaha Swami. Mangalalaya Bhogi Nutapadam. Mangalalaya Bhogi Nutapadam. Bhogi.
Oh, very interesting, very interesting.
And in this Sri Kamalambikaya Katakshitoham is there, he is suggested. Shankaranayikaya. The ragam is Shankarabharana. So that is suggested. He uses a lot of swarakshanams.
Okay, so what are swarakshanams? Again, for the benefit of our viewers.
Sarvasha Paripuraka. This Pari is the Sahitya. But this Pa and Ri are the swarams also.
Okay.
Where the letters of the swara and the Sahitya coincide, those are called swarakshanams. And you will find a lot of rhythm in this composition. Sundari Ramarajam Suravinutamahi Rajam Mandasmita Mukhambujam Mandaradara Karambujam Nadakananayanabujam Sundaratara Padambujam Sundara Rajam. This Bujam, or entire, in the Charanam also, these things, you will find this in every kriti, rhythmic patterns. He created only one raga.
Okay. In which was
that is Amritavarshi.
Okay.
On the way to Etayapuram, the villagers said there is no rain, there are no rains, the fields are parched. Then he composes Anandamrita Karshini, Amritavarshini. Salilam Varshe, Varshe, Varshe. 3 times he says Varshe. Pours. That is the only raga he created. Otherwise he did not. He had deployed a lot of Hindustani ragas because he was in Kashi. He had learnt a lot of Hindustani ragas and he had adapted them into Carnatic music, his compositions. like Yamuna Kalyani, Brindavana Sanga. And his Shubhabanta Varali will sound like a Hindustani. And finally, he goes to Attaipuram. The Attaipuram Maharaja requests him to be there with him. One day, he thinks, yes, his end is coming. Then he tells his Shishyas, in fact, just a side, Dikshitar, he is a Dikshitar, which is a micro minority community among Brahmins. He had 4 chief disciples, Chinnaya, Ponnaya, Vadivelu and Shivanandam. None of them were Brahmins, first of all. That was his, Advaita. And at Attaipuram, he tells his disciples to sing this phrase, Veenalochani, Pashamochani, Manini, Kadabhavasini. Veenalochani, Pashamochani, she is a liberator from our attachments, Pashamochani. Veenalochani, Pashamochani, Manini Kadauba Vanavasini Nakshi me Mudam Dehi me Jakangi Raja Matangi. And he breathes his last on a Deepavali day.
Wonderful. It was so educational, and I never knew a lot of the things, so it's been really an eye-opening, insightful episode, this one. And as much as I have learnt, I'm sure you all have learnt about Muthuswami Dikshitar as well. And so until next episode, bye from us, all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.